So while I wait for the PlayStation 4 to update to firmware version 7.0, good enough time to talk about the PlayStation 5 news today that I read about. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have read about it now. But I wanted to give my 2 cents on it because I think this is a very interesting move by Sony to announce the PlayStation 5 today, of all days, in such a interesting way. Now, think back to how Xbox unveiled Project Scorpio. It was through Digital Foundry, and they did tease it for a while, and they said, hey, it's coming. We are going to have an announcement. Mark your calendars for this date. And it was a countdown, and a lot of us didn't really know what to expect because up until then, a lot of the game releases had been, game console releases have been major press events. So to just kind of drop it out there and say, hey, we're going to have this magazine that a lot of you probably haven't heard of, and I know they have a website component as well, talk about our console technical specifications, it seemed a little odd. So I'm pretty sure I took the day off work because I didn't know if there was going to be some sort of live stream or some sort of major, press announcement. There wasn't. It was pretty much at 11 o'clock or whatever the advertised time was. Digital Foundry released a slew of videos talking about technical specifications and their first-person impressions. I don't think we saw the hardware at that time. We just heard about what was in it. The processor, the teraflops, all that stuff. And the nerd in me, the engineer in me was very excited, but the fan in me wanted to see it. I got to see the console. Is it sleek? How does the controller look? How does it sound? What does it do? Talk to me about the user interface. We didn't see any of that. Little did I know that would become a precedent, really, with new consoles, as today, out of nowhere, Wired announced that they had the exclusive deal to announce the PlayStation 5. And it was an interview between a couple of the people at Wired and Mark Cerny, among other people at Sony's camp, talking a little bit about their feelings on the console and some high-level stuff. Talking about stuff we kind of already knew, that there would be a Blu-ray player, that there would be a bigger hard drive, that they are using the latest and greatest chipsets, that sort of thing. It wasn't anything revolutionary. I guess the fact that Sony's talking about it should be announcement enough for a lot of us, but it made me feel that same kind of hollow, empty feeling that I felt after the Digital Foundry reveal of the Scorpio, because let's face it, even though we all knew the PlayStation 5 was coming, that's no surprise. And we knew it was going to be called the PlayStation 5, right? Even though we knew that, it's not until it's on stage when whoever it is, not Sean Layden anymore, but whoever it is from Sony, holds it up on the press conference and says, this is the console. And everybody flashes the pictures and everybody loses their collective minds screaming, and me the loudest. That's when it becomes real. When pre-orders go live on Amazon, when we know the games that are coming for it, when we have a price point, when we have a release date, those are the hype moments. So I'm conflicted. On one hand, we got rid of all the boring crap that nobody cares about. On the other hand, all they did was tease us. And it didn't really reveal a whole lot. We knew the console was coming next year. We knew that there were going to be some big unannounced games for it, but not really so much outside of that. Hopes and dreams for Sony, for me, really lie in the controller. I read a lot about their controller, them switching to haptic feedback, them borrowing a lot from the Xbox controller, particularly in terms of different trigger tensions, which I didn't even know was a thing, actually, different vibration parameters, the haptic, as I mentioned. I'm curious to see what they do. I love the DualShock controller, not like I love the Elite controller. There's no love I have that is weaker than the Elite controller. That's my absolute go-to stick. But, playing a lot of my games on the good old tried and true DualShock 4, it feels great. It looks great. It's wide. It's very, very responsive. The built-in battery. The only thing I hate about it is this stupid bar on the front. And I get it. They put it in because of virtual reality, but there's gotta be a better way. This thing is so annoying. And they did mention that the controller will have a speaker, so that is something they have committed to for DualShock 5, that it will have another speaker in it. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't use it a whole lot. A lot of games use it, and I lower it so much I miss out on these bonus features. I don't know. That's what I guess my biggest fear is. I know in my heart that this game is going to be, or this console rather, is going to be awesome. And I am committed to picking it up 100% for the, picking up the PlayStation 5 100%. I don't think I'm going to get the Scarlet. I could be wrong. I don't think so. I say that because the reality is, with all of the Game Pass stuff coming out, I just don't see the need to have a console anymore on the Xbox side. I could be wrong, but I just love Sony so much. I've always loved Sony so much, and there's just something about a PlayStation announcement that just gets me all giddy inside. So thought I'd do a quick video, just talking a little bit about my thoughts on it and some of my hopes, at least for the controller. Everything else with the console, the technical specifications, whatever. It's going to be great. It's not going to be great as a computer, but it's going to be good. Consoles aren't anything without games, and Sony has continued to rock it. There are some phenomenal studios out there that we haven't heard from in a while. There's going to be a lot of transition games like Ghost of Tsushima and Death Stranding, Last of Us 2, that are going to be potential early ports into PlayStation 5. I don't think they're going to look that great. I started to play through The Last of Us on PlayStation 4, the Enhanced Edition. They gave it away for free this month, and it's just not as good as I remembered. So we'll have to see about some of those games, but Sony's in a very unique position. A lot of corporate shakeups. They definitely right now have what it takes to maintain the lead that they've developed. They shored up some amazing exclusivities, particularly with Modern Warfare and the third-party titles. Obviously, their first-party studios have always been amazing. So here's to you, PlayStation 5. I hope you guys kill it. Leave a comment below. Let me know if you guys are excited for PlayStation 5. Did anything in the announcement today, although there wasn't a whole lot, anything really just catch your eye? Anything Mark Cerny said, or anything that was alluded to by some of the Sony executives that made you think maybe they don't have the situation under control? Or, on the other hand, was it something that just blew you away? Have you been an Xbox your whole life and you're ready to join the elite ranks of Sony ponies? Sound off below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.